And we're live. Live.
Live?
Live.
Live. All right. Well, that must mean it's a Saturday night. We're on the official Goodman Games channel, and we're here to make you question your life choices as we play a little Weird Frontiers, a little horror Western using the DCC system. Chuck, any pre-rolls?
No, I'm ready to get into it.
All right. The lawyers told us that we can stop letting people know because by now they should know that they really shouldn't be watching us, and that they'll really feel bad about themselves if they do. So, yeah. Chuck, who you playing tonight?
I am playing one Pierce McIntyre, occultist, father of Scab, and yes. Did you want to know the other things now, or were that coming later?
I am going to ask this question of each of you, and we'll start with Chuck. Chuck, it's been a month and a half
Mm-hmm.
since our last adventures. Your character's healed up from the many wounds you've inflicted upon yourself, mostly. Um, each of you can choose, since we're leading with Chuck, just tell us about what your character has been doing during this month and a half, whether you've stayed with the group, whether you've gone on. And then each person I ask after this can say whether or not they're with you or not with you.
So I would have found a place to settle down. So I would presume that wherever that is, I would have listened. It doesn't matter where. Wherever Scab would have been cool. So if we went back to Sweetwater, did something else, the where isn't as important. It's just a small place of civilization. I have set myself up as a medical doctor. Not so much so I can help heal people, but because dark magics require fuel. And as a
It's a lot
doctor,
less suspicious when a patient dies on a doctor's table than mysteriously
Oh,
going missing.
yes,
oh no, they just died. Oops.
that is it exactly. I've also, done a little delving into some other dark arts, and I've got a spell that's very strongly themed with lots and lots and lots of tentacles. Yeah.
Rex watched a lot of anime.
Yeah. Yeah. That must be it. All right. We'll let Scab decide where that place is, if he wants it to be Sweetwater or not when we get to him. But until then, um, let's hear about Jebediah.
I think my first thought is I was going to go track down that law firm that I got the business card for.
Mm-hmm.
But I think instead he wants to do something with that evil plant seed pod that he got.
Okay. I had forgotten entirely that I wanted to do this. So let me put you on hold for just a second, Joe. Joe's playing
Sure.
Jebediah. Chuck, you are practicing your new skill as a doctor. So why don't you make me that role?
Oh yeah.
And this will
Yeah.
just say how you've been doing over the last month and a half or so.
Sure. Absolutely. There's my intelligence. 8. Not great.
Not so good.
Didn't say I
Somebody's
was a
gone
good
in with
doctor.
the ingrown toenail and he ended up dead on your slab. So it's
Oops.
not going too well as you fill things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So Joe, Jebediah wants to do something with that spore, you said?
Yeah, because when we were dealing with that weird evil plant, I tried to harvest some seeds from it, and I only got one.
All
And I
right.
would like to increase the number of seeds that I have. So I imagine he went out somewhere remote to plant it and try and get it to a point where he could have a few more pods.
Did you happen to pick up the skill in horticulture?
Uh, no, but I would like to.
Do you have an open skill slot?
I mean, starting this round, yes. But there was
Okay.
2 I was working on last time.
All right. I tell you what, roll me a D10.
Okay.
Okay. You are
9.
able to you're able to harvest, let's say, 6 seeds, and you do learn some important things. One, the plant is trainable. But to get the
Oh.
seeds, you essentially have to kill the plant. And it's if you let it grow so large, you get more seeds from it. But it is much harder to kill.
Mhm.
If you kill it while it's not quite mature, you'll get a few seeds from it, but it's much, much easier of a deed. The plant is as smart as a not overly bright dog.
Okay.
All right.
I like that.
Now,
Keep that in
have you
mind.
gone your own way, or have you kind of stayed with the main group of folks?
I imagine I went my own way because I don't know
Okay.
if I even really want other people keyed in on
That's
me having these
perfectly fine.
too much.
Uh,
And
Daniel,
he's pretty used to being by himself.
okay, you've gone your own way then, for a time anyway. Daniel, tell us about Chance.
Chance is a loner from the get-go. He's like the outsider of the whole group, technically speaking. So, and
Okay.
Scab's got some issues with his relationship he's built here with the vampire. So,
So you're going to track down the vampire.
try. Who knows?
Okay, and you're also, I believe, the possessor of the pages of the
Yeah, there's
Necronomicon.
no way that anything's going wrong with that.
Okay. Make me a personality check. And so
Oh.
you've gone your own way. And the reason why you guys are split up is because it was over a month. You haven't heard from old One Eye. No real leads as to where to go next. And all of you have just got an itch to just get away from each other for a little bit. Just a little bit. You haven't really made plans of getting back together. But
It's
there
a
we go.
10.
A 10. Well, you spend the majority of that month and a half in fancy restaurants, wining and dining with Vampire Girl, as she set herself up to be a wealthy aristocrat in a particular city. That's well enough. That's what you're doing. I mean, you're enjoying the high society lifestyle for a bit. If you want, a skill that you could possibly take, if you want to take high society as a skill, because you've been introduced to all the movers and shakers, you know how to properly dress, you know how to properly order, you know what the finer things in life are now, because that's what's
Let's do
happening
it.
to you.
We'll do it. Chance is refined. No longer will he be sleeping on ropes.
Oh, and Chance, it's very much like she's treating you like, wear this, do this, act this way.
You are arm candy.
Yes.
Chance is becoming molded.
This is my purse, my necklace, and my person I drag with me everywhere.
Exactly.
Eh, this is all right for Chance. Probably.
It's a great lifestyle. You're now becoming aware of foods that you've never had before. That's a heck of a lot better than the beans and cornbread you've lived on most of your life. Excellent liquors that you've never experienced before. You got a certain taste for a green liquor that makes you have fascinating dreams.
Couldn't possibly guess what that is.
Yeah. All right, let's go on. Let's go on to Jeremy. Tell us about Scab and what Scab's been doing.
Hi, I'm Scab. I'm guess I'm what you'd call a Tommy knocker. There's a cave in at the mine. I'm 12 years old. I've been feeling funny for a while, but everything's fine because Mr. McIntyre adopted me. And the thing is, he's such a good man. I didn't think he could get any better, but now he's trying to be a doctor. He wants to save people, and he's trying so hard. And he's having a hard time, but he's trying. So I said, let's go back to Sweetwater. And part of the reason I said that is because I remember that observatory that he wanted to work at. So, during the night, because I don't have to sleep, I ask if I can read the books he's got that have pictures and stuff. I've been trying to learn a little bit more. And then in the meanwhile, I go and I try and clear out the observatory and maybe some of that graveyard a bit. And I try and take some of the pictures from the books and look at things when I'm there and see if I could pick up something, especially something could help me kill that stupid vampire lady. But mostly I'm helping Dad.
So you've picked up a cult as a skill now, I believe.
Yeah.
Why don't
He's
you
not
make
going to
me
be
that
great at
roll?
it because he's not very smart, but he has been like picking up his dad's books.
Sure. Why don't you make me that roll?
Oh, God. All right. Intelligence check. Where are you at?
You're
There's
having a
not
hard.
enough pictures.
Mostly, what it is you're having to learn Latin first, and that's slow going. So unfortunately, Scav doesn't learn anything new. You have picked up the skill, mind you. Just haven't really learned anything about how to put down a vampire for good, or maybe even some deeper secrets that your dad might be holding from you. None of that's found out. You're still learning Latin, but you're in Sweetwater with Dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, tell us about Killian and what's Killian been up to.
Well, Killian is a former French photographer turned spiritual medium that they call a calavera. Here lately, he's been utilizing his spirit talking abilities to track down people who may have been aware of things like gold mines or plundered, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess plundering. Treasure hunters, basically, who failed in their expeditions and trying to figure out what it was they were looking for and clues on how to find them.
Make me a personality check, Jake.
All right. $12.
I bet there's not just a few conversations that go along the route of, you really want to go on to your just desserts, don't you? Well, I can send you there if you let me know about that gold mine you found.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I was going to do. You rolled a 12. Jake, you are now the proud owner of $1,200 gold.
Wow.
You could have cashed it in, put it in the bank, or kept it as nuggets. That's up to you. But not a few spirits got put onto their reward after you wrangled out the the existence of a few mines. You probably didn't mine this mines yourself. You probably sold the information along, and that's how you made the money.
Right.
I don't think, Jake, your character is much of a swing the pickaxe sort of character.
No.
So
Enough to verify that the
in
mine's
cash.
there and then put a claim on it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if you ever wanted to do that, you have somebody that does have that skill.
True. True.
And I don't sleep and I work cheap.
2 cents a day.
But I don't have to worry about cave-ins.
Oh,
Not anymore.
All right, that brings us to Eddie. What has Ivan the Luchador been up to?
I think that Ivan, having seen all this weird shit, and he's just been, he's a man of limited faith, but faith nonetheless, mostly out of a lack of understanding. And he's tired of not understanding any of this stuff, so I think he's probably sought out and some sort of occultist or person who would be trying to heal the evils of the world in a godly manner, and is trying to learn what he can. Maybe study under him a little bit, maybe even hunt some monsters a little bit in the off time, build his strength back up. And in between that, the only other thing he's been working on is trying to learn how to properly cook a fine steak, because it's one half of everything he loves in the world besides a glass of milk.
Okay. Tell you what, make me a personality check.
Personality. Let's do that. Don't have a bonus on it, but I don't have a penalty either.
Oof. Okay.
Ouch.
So there's good and bad from this. The low roll, though. So you get in with a group of luchadors led by El Santo and his magnificent five, who are essentially, it's Scooby-Doo. It's the crew. You're Scooby.
I'm Scooby.
God.
That makes sense.
You learn all about hunting and destroying monsters and the supernatural. You mostly fumble your way through it and act as comedy relief to the Penny Dreadful writer that tags along with them, making little pamphlets of their exploits. Which doesn't do a lot of good for Ivan's career, but you learn a lot. You learn a lot. All right. So,
I'm sure Ivan will play most of that off as if it was intentional. Like, yes, I want the rest of the group to feel good about themselves. So, I let them take all the glory.
It's amazing.
so yeah, you're taken under their wing as a protege. You're mostly a gopher for the team, but you learn some things.
I'm going for the meat. I'm going for the milk. I'm cooking the meals, and then I'm carrying the gear.
Yeah. And that Penny Dreadful writer just makes you look like a buffoon in every article that he writes. But the article's really popular, so there's some good, some bad to that. And every time you roll into a town now, when you make that roll to see if people recognize you, it's going to be 50-50 of what they recognize.
Oh, no.
See, and Ivan wouldn't know any different. He's just like, people would ask him like, you're that guy from the Penny Dreadful or from the Penny comics or whatever. And he's like, yes, I'm very famous. He has no concept of bad
oblivious.
publicity.
No press is bad press.
Exactly.
No press is bad press.
All right. So here's what brings you all together again after you've been separated for a while, probably a much needed break from one another. You're all having a dream that recurs. And the first time you have it, it's just you wake up in sweats and it was just a bad dream. It quickly fades. But over the last week, you're having the same dream every night. And with each night, the memory stays longer. First, it's a few hours. The next time you have it, it stays with you for a full day. The next time you have it, it's burned into your memory. So you hang suspended in the endless void. There's a single pinprick of light below you. Focusing upon it, you see a warrior of the Crow Nation sitting at a campfire, as if sensing your presence. He looks up. There's a flash of light. A golden star shoots across the sky, slamming into the earth like the very wrath of God. The resulting explosion of golden light blinds you. There's a flash of light. A trio of gamblers play poker. One of them slowly looks up and gently kicks a chair out towards you, as if expecting you to join the game. There's a flash of light. Arms stretched before you. A ragged scalp is clenched in your fist, still dripping the blood. The scalp's donor stands next to you, clutching the 10 star that is his badge of office. There's a flash of light. A red-eyed man, clad in crimson, rides upon some sort of buffalo. A tattered noose hangs from his saddle, and a shadowed figure follows in his wake. There's a flash of light. A tinker's cart rests at the side of a dusty street, light glinting off an assortment of pots and pans dangling from hooks along its sides. The image swirls as the cart transforms into a mountebank's wagon with the name J. Carey Esquire emblazoned on the side. There's a flash. You stand in the middle of a street, wooden buildings to either side of you ablaze in the night air. Squinting through the blazing firelight, you try to make out the silhouetted figures who face you through the smoke. Dark vapors swirl, winding ash and embers into strange patterns which hang in the sky. The flickering motes pulse with an unholy life of their own as 7 things step from the darkness. Their leader stands in the center of the street, yellow eyes set within his tentacled face. You smell them, even over the reek of the fire. The odors of death and decay mixed with something your nose has never been before suffered. A tang is in the air that... You wake up. And this just keeps repeating. Night after night after night. Those of you who aren't already in Sweetwater, the next few days are a haze. You're not exactly sure how you found yourself aboard a train. But inevitably, you all return to Sweetwater, arriving by wagon, arriving by train, arriving by a tired horse. And as you know, there's only one fine hotel in Sweetwaters where you find your old friends, Scab and McIntyre, having a breakfast.
Probably imagine at that point, we probably have our own house if we've been there long enough and I'm a doctor.
I'm sure you still eat at the Star, though,
Oh, absolutely.
since they're the best kitchen in town.
I want to make sure to supplement my dad because he's really nice. I work on the side both as a busboy and a pianist. Because I don't need to sleep, so why not?
It's fantastic.
Do I need to roll a new fame test since I'm coming back after these adventures?
No, since you were here long enough, everyone knows you. Some may have been actually reading the little
So
the books.
some may be
that have
giving
been-
me funny looks.
No, they still see you as the town's hero, regardless. And so they know that the cringing, cowardly, inept wrestler that's being depicted must be just to sell the magazines because they know and love Ivan. So you're all back.
Yes.
Chance is back.
To the fish-infested town of Sweetwaters, where it all
I
started.
regret coming back. God damn it! Why did it have to be here?
Jebediah, since this is where you learned your telegraphy skills, maybe after getting off the stagecoach or train, whichever one your character might have taken, just out of a little bit of nostalgia, you head over to the telegrapher's office. It's a new person behind the keys, though. Haven't seen the person before. They've upgraded a little bit. They've got newer systems. But as you walk in, the person seems to know you. Nods his head at you and said, Jebediah, ain't it? There's been a telegram here waiting for you for a week now.
Thanks. Who's it from?
It's awfully strange. He pulls a telegram off the shelf and hands it to you. And it's almost like it's a poem, and letters have been used to make almost a small figure as instead of a signature on the bottom. Why can't I hold on? I'm sorry. I'm trying to show you what the figure looks like in the GM level, but it's not working. Come on. There it goes. Okay. So it's almost like a poem. Embanic, where 3 lines cross. A fist from heaven is enshrined. 7 devils seek its power. Our fates will be decided at midnight, 3 nights from now. And using the telegraphy keys, there's like if you guys know what the Kilroy graphic is, like the head,
Kilroy
the
was
fingers
here.
looking over,
Kilroy was here.
except it only has 1 eye.
I think I know who that is. Okay.
I've never seen
Have I
anybody
seen
do
anyone
art
else
over the
at this
telegraphy
point
keys
yet?
before. Does that mean anything to you?
I've just got a friend who's a little too creative for his own good sometimes. Thanks for this.
Yeah, and his
Have
nods.
I seen everyone else yet by this point?
Nope. No, it's like the telegrapher's office is right next to the train depot and the stagecoach depot, and you just felt like stopping in.
Okay. I guess I'll head out with that.
All right.
I'm going to meet up with everyone else.
So y'all
Eventually.
meet up at the Star. It's like, well, there is another hotel in town, but it's a rat trap. You know, this place has actually got decent beds, one of the better cooks in town, and everyone knows you here. And as I was saying, you come in as Scab.
Let me get your
Mr.
bags for you,
McIntyre
sir.
are having breakfast. McIntyre may be having a liquid breakfast. Scab has got some bloody raw pork chops on a plate.
Shit. Don't look now, Scab. But Jebediah just walked in.
I run at Jebediah and I give him a giant hug and I tackle him to the ground.
Yeah, I bet he'd be thrown a little off guard by that. And so,
The rest,
how's it been going, Scab?
Push
I was
their way
really
through the
worried you were
door.
going to get killed.
Nope, I'm still here. Is your dad around?
He's over there.
Here. Kick out a chair and seeing the others, I'll pull a couple other chairs from nearby tables.
The exact same reaction happens for every other person from the party that shows up.
It's a lot of tackling. You double tackle as both Killian and Chance come through at the same time.
I'm so glad you're not dead.
Chance smells
one on each
purty, and he's wearing some nice clothes, real nice clothes.
Where have you been, Chance? I smell something on you.
Oh,
Proud?
I'm happy to see you, Chance.
I'm happy to see you too, but I don't feel like you're happy to see me.
I'm glad
I feel
to
like
see
that's the
you.
perfect moment for Ivan to walk in.
Ivan!
As soon as Scab jumps up and tries to tackle Ivan, Ivan reverses him and tries to tackle him, but he's just play fighting, so he ends up letting Scab pin him to the ground like he won.
Oh, you. It's good to see you. You
Hello.
smiling again. You
I
got
am
some-
smiling again. I have had adventures. I will tell you all about them.
I want to hear all about them.
Oh, great adventures. We have fought monsters, saved the people, doing justice.
I've been reading about monsters. I'm going to learn how to fight them the right way.
Somewhere along the line, Ivan's picked up a taste for dog biscuits. Don't know why.
Hey,
Call
look,
them
if they're
Ivan
good enough for the
snacks.
dogs. They keep well in a knapsack.
Yeah, I'll wave everyone
Yeah,
over.
Killian comes through the door.
Yeah.
Chance, this would be a great time to ask Killian what the French word that your vampire paramour has been using when she introduced you to all of her friends, gigolo?
Oh, yeah.
French word?
Yeah, what's this mean? I've heard it a lot.
It's one could call it a term of endearment of sorts. A danseur mondaine.
Is it good? No. Yeah.
It depends on how much money you make doing it, but
I mean, none
It's a profession.
specific.
well, that's all right. I've made a little. I'll pay cash for this round of drinks for everybody.
It's fairly early. This is the early train, early stagecoach getting here. So it's like 9 a.m.
Oh, just in time for the morning wine. Yes.
Yeah,
The morning
McIntyre,
champagne.
It's happy hour, right?
It's
you're
always new
fortifying
somewhere.
yourself
Yeah.
before your first patient of the day at 10.
Mm-hmm. Make sure my hands are steady.
Y'all are starting to sound more like me and less like yourselves.
I'm a doctor now. Thank you very much. Anyway,
So,
I mean, if you want
Drinks
to
How many-
and
shoot guns,
breakfasts
I will.
are brought out for everybody as you gather at a large table. Chairs are brought forward. You pretty much have the star to yourselves at this point. There are a few other people on the train and stagecoach. They're checking into rooms and just going straight up. So the bar area is yours.
For now.
You all just stay seated. I'm going to take care of you all. I'm going to get your tables and everything all set up.
well,
Have you all been here, or are
I-
we just happening to run into each other?
Scab and I settled here. I am now working as the town's doctor. Scab
I
is
went back.
doing every job.
Yeah, because I realize now I don't have to sleep, and I can do so much stuff because I don't have to sleep. I get to read Dad's picture books. I went back to the place that had the lizards that were in the water that were hard to see. I killed more of them lizard people. I nearly died a couple times, but I didn't die, so I'm okay now. And then I went to the graveyard, and I nearly died a couple times there too. It's been great.
I would just imagine knowing Scab's exploits. He's just covered in my brand irons all over. Just keep the
There's
boy
new
going.
stitches all over the place.
Branded like inside and like out as skin flaps need to be put back together.
Chance, I'm glad you're here. I have at least three
First time somebody
patients.
said that in a while.
At least three patients saying that they expect you to financially do right with the children that they claim are yours.
Oh no, I've never done any of that.
I told them that those children have far too many gills.
Can't be mine. I ain't got no gills.
Anyway, you all hear about the dreams, right?
I mean, yeah.
What?
I was having those.
Scab and I have been sharing them.
You know, I wouldn't choose to come back here.
So, is there a fellow by the name of Carrie by any chance in this town?
I have no idea. Maybe. No?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I wish I'd thought of that sooner. I was thinking so much about how that scalp tasted in my dreams.
No. Not that you've seen McIntyre or Scab.
Is it a name I recognize?
It is Esquire. That sounds like high society.
It sounds too fancy for this place.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exactly why you would expect it to be here.
No. The native of this old.
Okay, so we need to find some place nearby with slightly more money than this.
A little more. Maybe I do know from my recent, socially inclined upbringings.
No, all of you have had the same dream. After sharing it with each other, you realize it is exactly the same. So the cart with the J. Carey Esquire on the side looks like a traveling snake oil salesman, or almost like a carnival sort of cart or wagon that goes from town to town. Maybe it's just not arrived yet. Maybe you're in the wrong place. Who knows? It all depends on whether or not Jebediah shares something with the rest of the party.
Yeah, after they don't seem to know anything about the telegram that I got, and they're all here just for the dream, I would bring up that I seem to have been contacted by our one-eye friend. I'll show everyone the telegram.
That is certainly news.
Yep.
More.
So I'll read it out again since I didn't put this in a handout. In Bannock, where 3 lines cross, a fist from heaven is enshrined. 7 devils seek its power. Our fates will be decided at midnight 3 nights from now.
And you got this telegram when?
As I was coming here in town, it was waiting for me, had been here for a week.
So
Wait, a week is more than 3 days. Oh, God.
We're decided.
Listen, I think we may be okay. The one-eyed friend.
He often knows when we'll be getting information.
Yeah.
So I imagine he anticipated that.
Hopefully 3 days from now.
That's what I would imagine. How far out do we know where Bannock is?
So everybody can go ahead and make me an intelligence check. Just everybody can make it to see if they've ever heard of the town Bannock. If not, you'll have to figure out where to research.
There's my best roll for the whole day.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Chance knows the
Yay.
shit out of where Bannock
I'm
is.
stupid.
Chance definitely has heard of Bannock before. It's about a day's wagon ride or train ride from here. It was a big boom town, big for gold.
High society life has been expanding Chance's brain.
Well, I think Chance might have been out that way when the big gold boom happened, because a lot of folks in the area were.
He was a prospector. That's actually
exactly. That's probably exactly how you know it. It was the former territory capital before the gold kind of petered out in a much larger town, several 100 miles away, just got to be bigger when the gold started to play out. It's probably when you left, much like a lot of other prospectors. There's still gold found there from time to time, but nothing like it was during the boom years. This was maybe 10 years ago. Chance is what, in his 20s?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, so you went out there as a very young man.
He's always in his
teenager.
20s.
Yeah. Played out, you made what fortunes you could, which given chance's luck was very little. You came back to Sweetwater having failed as a prospector, and thus the drinking began.
Probably 22 season 5.
I was going to say, how many 25th birthdays have you had?
Mm-hmm.
Number of them.
Also, let's see, Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
You know of it in a different sense. At one point in time, you were making a study of ley lines. It's one of the reasons that brought you to Sweetwater to begin with, because this new observatory was actually right on a ley line that you were studying. And so in this area in general, you always meant to keep up with your studies and go and investigate other ley lines. But there's a confluence of 3 ley lines that Bannock lies right in the juncture of 3 ley lines.
Well, that would certainly.
So it was a
line up.
place you always intended to go to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll share my knowledge of that with the party because that certainly lines up with the words in the telegram. Anyway.
Yeah, Scab would have heard the name too. Probably prospectors that come through buying things from the Star using just gold nuggets, ounces of gold, may have just said the word here or there. So
You're so smart, Dad.
Thank you, son.
Yeah, I don't
Should we
think
go to Bannock then?
Jebediah is familiar with it.
We most certainly should. I would say we should leave immediately.
It is still early in the day.
Yeah, the next train or stagecoach will be out somewhere around 2 this afternoon. It's 9 a.m. now. Just gives you time to catch up, your characters to catch up, and if you wanted to stock up on anything.
Okay.
You guys are fairly flush of cash for the most part. So if there's anything you guys want to buy up that you didn't during the downtime when you leveled up your characters, which reminds me, folks, what level are all the characters now? We're leveling up after each adventure. So we are 5th level characters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The highest level character I've played in this setting.
Nice.
I would ask Chance to do a gunsmithy roll on my pistol.
Can I do that?
Yeah, if you want to upkeep his pistol, it has the same effect. For every 5 you make, he can pull a card out of his deck, a bad card out of his deck.
Just a straight D20.
Yeah, straight D20.
Do this all the time.
You got this.
Look at that.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I rolled a
you
one.
can pull-
I rolled a 120.
120.
Sorry,
Oh,
I did that.
Oh, that's far less impressive.
There we go.
That's 3
actually
cards.
pretty bad.
Ironically, considering I rolled a 120 and a 20 and I got a 16 to a 22, that's pretty.
So, like, for every 5, that's like 2 aces and an 8 or whatever.
No.
My top 4 cards were 8, 6, 8, Ace of Clubs.
Wow.
Well, they're gone now.
Wow.
Give them out.
Can't help but notice along Killian, you can't help but notice along with Chance's
Oh shit!
he's wearing
That's my roll for
he's
my
wearing a
bad.
tailored outfit, very nice cloth, and his gun cleaning kit is like it's an import. It's leather. It's Italian leather on the outside. It's a beautiful,
new
expensive
holster?
gun cleaning kit.
Chance is living the high life these days.
Ivan's probably just going to load up on body oil, some new cigars, and maybe
Ivan
while
snacks.
nobody's looking, when nobody's looking, he's going to stuff a satchel or 2 of biscuits into his pack. Maybe keep a little sachet of them tied to his waist.
I get to take 4 cards out of my deck.
That's impressive.
Yes, you
Take
do.
both aces and both 8s out.
And you get a boon for rolling a nat 20 on that.
Do you get a boon for that?
Yep. Yep. Sure.
Oh,
You
So
Chance.
Daniel,
High
that
life
means you're
is
going to
serving
die
you
tonight.
well.
You realize that, right? Chance is going to just bite a bullet tonight with all these great rolls up front.
Yeah.
almost certainly. Like it's got to be. It's just got to be.
Somebody is not making it by the end of the session.
I'm blowing my load in the meaningless rolls.
So Chance is cleaning guns on the tabletop while you're talking. Does anyone else want to do anything before you hitch either a train ride or a wagon ride out to Bannock?
Nothing super mechanically tied, just making sure I've got everything I need for my
Okay.
spells, and then also swinging by the office to pick up some road snacks for Scab.
So you've got a patient waiting outside. He's got a bandage over his head. He's coming to you for a toothache, and you're late by half an hour. He's like, Doc, it's my jaw, Doc. Remember?
Yes, my apologies. Real quick, I'm just going to shoot him up with some morphine, get in there with a wrench and yank a tooth out until I get a tooth that I think is the bad one.
All right. Give me a roll. You're using a D20 since you picked up the medicine and skill. You do it. He's probably going to hurt a lot once that morphine wears off. But you got the right tooth.
Even on the first try this time.
Sends you on your way. Actually, the $5 that he pays you is the first positive money you've made since you've been here with your Dr. Shingle open, because you had to rent the establishment, you had to get tools. That was the earlier roll that you rolled that 8 on. You weren't ahead. So this is the first $5 you can pocket since you opened up your establishment.
Fantastic. Anyway, yes, I'll pocket that, and then I'll go pack up Scab's road snacks. By that I mean all of the limbs that I have removed.
You're turning your brand new sign to closed as you're locking the door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, luckily you haven't been doing well enough to have had a secretary yet, or
Good.
And your rent's paid up on the building for the month.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm good to go.
All right. Anyone else need to do
make
anything?
sure I want to make sure we're stocked up on stuff to repair the wagon this time compared to last time when we had to
Wagoning
do the
or
axle.
Training?
Yeah, you can take either a stagecoach or a train and get to Bannock in a day or half a day, depending on which one you want to do.
Oh, okay. Which one were we doing?
I would vote train.
Trains are all right, except when they're attacked by demons and things. This one's not going to be attacked by demons and things, right?
No promise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'll just make sure I'm stocked up on bullets and if they have any photo plates.
Yes. Actually, Sweetwater's been doing pretty well since you guys got rid of some of the worst things that were going on here. That new observatory did open, and it has brought some new rich folk into town. After you solved the case of the missing banker, that has been resolved. So the town's actually doing fairly good. No new buildings yet, but there's some architects over at the Star have had some blueprints out certain evenings there, McIntyre, while you and Scab are having some dinner, talking about putting in new buildings, new things to the town. You need another hotel. Or just houses. There are a lot of scientists coming out this way, and they need something better than a bunk bed to stay in. So they're thinking about putting in some more houses on the outskirts. So it's a growing town.
Nice.
Growing town with a lot of fish in the gene pool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Is anyone doing anything other than just loading? I'm just going to assume that you load up on your bullets. You got all your normal stuff. If there's anything that's odd that you want to pack with you, just let me know. McIntyre's packed up his new practice. You didn't have anyone else on the books anyway.
I guess were they able to figure out if I go back to the telegram? Are they able to say like where it came from, or do they have any like routing, tracing information on that?
No. None of that.
This is an IP4, Joe.
I know. I'm just.
This is IP.15. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and the comatose charlatan that was in the hospital did come to, checked himself out, and no one's seen him since.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
That's not important.
No.
I don't think I even exposed him.
So train.
Mm-hmm.
Train. You want to get there?
It was
fast
real well last time. I'm sure it'll go great again.
Wow. I mean, you guys maybe spring for a private car this time, so that you have it to yourself. Includes
horse
wait
on
staff
one.
bring you by some food and everything else. Your horses will also be loaded on to the cattle car at the rear, so you won't have to lose your horses. So you have a relatively comfortable ride, as comfortable as trains of the time get. You're in a private car. It has full service dining. You've got waiters coming to you, give you a pretty good meal as you travel. It takes about half a day. It's like a good 8-9 hours of a trip. That includes a few stops in between where you got to load up on coal and water for the furnaces and such. Get out and stretch your legs if you want, but you've got a really nice car that you're all in. No one bothers you. You're able to get a quick nap if you want, but soon enough, train arrives in Bannock. And give me just a second here. So if you guys can open up the handout, it is called Bannock. That is the view of the street level there. And the train yard is just going to be, since I'm kind of linking all these adventures together, this venture doesn't include a train yard. So the train yard is just off outside of the town. So there's a short walk into town. And you guys will be coming in from the bottom there where the arrow is pointing forward down Main Street.
Cool.
All right. Well, Bannock used to be a very popular place, especially when the gold was flowing out of the creeks and mountains nearby. Now, it's not quite a ghost town. There are still several shops open. There are people in the streets. But I'll tell you what does happen immediately. All you folks that have access to spells and spell-like abilities, I would like all of you guys, give me just a second here.
That's basically everybody but me. Possibly Ivan.
No, even Ivan. He has spell-like abilities. Yours are all imparted through your gun, so not really you. I'm going to try and play this as straight as the module has it. So give me just a minute to locate something here real quick.
We're fine.
It's going to be great. We're all going to roll high. No one's going to explode. I remember the last time I was casting spells off a ley line. Things got wild.
I'm going to explode.
Yeah, all of you make me personality checks other than chance. Everyone else do so.
Personality.
11,
Great.
okay.
Oh boy.
Oh dear. 2.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Ivan.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, Ivan, you do get the hex from that, but the result is not
goddamn.
bad. All right, so anybody that makes 10 or less, you just have a sensation of tension all around you. It feels like you're in a crowd of people that are just waiting for someone to say the wrong thing and for a bar brawl just to break out on the streets. That's just that kind of feeling that you get, Ivan. And Scab, you also got a low one. And Killian, too. It's just this pressure, this weight of expectation, of violent expectation that's in the air. Those of you that got a 10 or higher, this feeling is more intense, and you definitely know that the source of it is not natural. Okay. It's not just the people in the street giving off a certain vibe. No, there is a magical tension about the air. Enough, McIntyre, especially since you know this is the confluence of 3 ley lines. Mm-hmm. Magic's going to be a little dicey here. It may be very chaotic in how it works.
Okay.
You can feel it in the air, just the nature of magic changing from moment to moment. So all of you that got better than a 10 have that feeling. Things are going to be very dicey here, very chaotic.
Gun.
You guys might be feeling a little bit more like me when you're trying to do magic here.
Well, spice is the excitement of life. Is that how it goes?
Sure.
I don't know.
I remember the Futurama quote, but I'm bastardizing for this. Yeah, who needs magic when you have a gun?
Well, the gun's magic, so
yeah. Details.
Who needs to be magic when you have a magic gun?
All right. So as you wander in, the first thing that you're going to encounter is there on the left, area 16. Give me a second. The plaque on the outside says it's the Young Smith and Farrier. It's a homestead. There's a smithy on the outside. You can see that the giant anvil is out there and a very hot chimney. There's a small courtyard. It's everything very neat and orderly. You do notice, all of you notice, it's not like it's being hidden, but there are strange symbols carved above the doorway. And the only other thing that's remarkable about the place is that the curtains are a bright canary yellow. Very odd coloration, very vivid. You just tell me if you want to, if you're walking on by or what else is going on with that.
I have no desire to go there.
Yeah. So right across the street, number 3, is something that all of you kind of start at. This is Monty Banks wagon with the name J. Carey Esquire written right on the big colorful plank outside. It's brightly painted medicine show kind of wagon. It's advertising his patented black milk in oversized letters. There's no show in progress, and the pitch man is just leaning against the wagon, completely unaware of his surroundings, just kind of filing his nails, cleaning his hands.
Oh, that's where we're
Soundless
going.
chocolate milk. What I'm hearing?
Patented black milk is what it says.
Chalky milk?
This is black licorice milk.
Oh.
Oh,
I feel significantly less excited at an alarming rate.
oh, we need to kill that dude.
The monster.
Yeah. I don't know. Seeing that, I would definitely want to go straight for it.
Normally, Ivan would be shocked and horrified to hear a child talk about murdering somebody, but anybody who tampers with the natural order of good, cold, icy milk deserves to be strung up and hung by his toes.
I mean, Ivan, they put black licorice in the milk.
Right.
They put
Disgusting.
black licorice in the milk, Ivan.
He breaks down weeping alongside Scab.
I have to kill him all.
Of all the cruelties I've seen during this campaign, what they've done to this milk is the worst.
I just
Make a
want
grit check.
Unspeakable evil.
I just
Challenges
want to
him to a
know,
cage match right there.
what's your stance on horchata?
I think Ivan needs to make a grit check at that.
But as you draw closer, the man is dressed in a perfectly pressed black trousers, a stiffly starched white shirt with a tie. He seems to be more appropriately dressed for a courtroom than a street side. And as you guys start to come closer, he lets out a big whistle. I am incapable of whistling, so I'm not going to do it. So he lets out a whistle and says, "Well, now, a group of more dream-haunted folks I don't believe I've ever yet to see." Tips his hat at you all.
I mean,
You said dream hainted?
you've put it.
Seems really specific.
Yeah, you've put it right on the table. We've come here looking for you, hopefully.
Well, now, perhaps this conversation is best had over a good, strong pot of coffee. You care to join me? So, in between the wagon and the first set of houses, he's got kind of like a little camp set up. And he goes over, he gets the fire going again, puts a kettle of water on, measures out some coffee into it. Well, come on, sit.
I'll join him.
You best be putting up that abominable milk.
We do have to know. There's several of us here that are huge milk fans, and I have told them that it is black milk because you put black licorice in it. Is that true?
Well, no, that would be a fallacy. And spreading such rumors might be get me in a litigious sort of mind. But I assure you, no actual milk is made in my tinctures, used in my tinctures. It's simply the velvety, smooth quality of the liquid as it goes down your mouth, gets you reminiscent of milk. It's not the real thing, I assure you, but it's good for what ails you.
So you're making Guinness.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
He's making Guinness. All right, this
I like
is
to
fine
use a
then.
little nitro to give it that frothy head, you see.
There you go.
All right, now we're talking a different game here. This is all right.
Scab, it's not actual milk. He's not putting black licorice in it.
I'll take your entire stock, says Chance. Now.
Yeah, Ivan will reach over, kind of put a hand on on Scab's arms and stand down, boy. Evil is not here. We are safe.
Well, we can talk more about my medicinals in a bit. And he starts pouring down the coffee as it starts rattling on the fires there. And he sips first. He's like, I'm afraid I'd like to take mine pure and unadulterated, but if you'd like some sugar, I think I got some blackstrap molasses here somewhere that might do for you.
No, I'm fine with black coffee. Yes.
Yeah, I think Jebediah helps himself to a almost uncomfortable amount of that in the coffee.
I'll
More
take
sugar than
one
coffee.
and two.
Yeah.
Could I have one cup with sugar, one without?
Here's your 2 cups.
Thank you. All that matters is just 2 cups of coffee.
Chance has been dining in some of the finest establishments, so he's doing rope coffee now, where he's like doing the big pour and it's getting all frothy. And
Wait here.
Sounds like Chance needs a man bun and a weird name.
No, Chance already has a weird name.
He does.
It's pronounced chance now.
Chance. Chance.
Now, as to why I can tell that you're all troubled by some visitations in the night is, see, I'm the humble 7th son of a 7th son. I've been gifted with a certain second sight, and I can see such sorrowful nights of sleep that you've been through lately. I can offer what I can and what I can see within my own visions, if you'd like to talk about it.
Considering I have a cold reading as a trained skill now, could I do a personality check to see if he's BSing me right now?
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, 11.
11. Okay. Well, I mean, the man is obviously a skilled performer, street barker, and potion seller. But he seems to be playing it fairly straight with you. He can't seem to help not having a flair for the dramatic, but he doesn't appear to be lying to you. Either that or he's just really good at what he does.
Yeah. All right. I'll pay attention.
Am I going to be happy?
Well, now Chance,
gonna be empty.
Is it? Oh, random. I can't quite see in my visions what your true name is. Has something to do with fortune, but you make your own fortune, son. You make your own fortunes. Whether or not you're happy with it, well, that's up to you.
Perfectly vague answer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what can I
could have just said she's going to leave him.
So we've all got these shared dreams that you've mentioned, and I'll kind of run them through it. The things we've seen. And we were directed by a friend who's quite mystically inclined, who told us to venture here.
Okay. You basically go through the dream?
Yeah.
Well, he picks out a few things that he recognizes. The man with the tentacled face. When you start, you talk about the part of the dream where this person shows up. He says, yeah, so I'm getting a picture of a bare-chested. He's got sickly green flesh, those glowing amber eyes. He's wearing a Stetson, a black Stetson. He's got a octopoidal kind of beard hanging below a very fine mustachioed face. That sounds a lot like Davis Tutt. They call him the finger thief hereabouts. He's got quite a bounty on his head.
Why do they call him the finger thief?
Well, And those people that run across him, he doesn't kill you outright. He eats your thumb and your
That's
trigger
weird.
finger.
I need those.
Okay. Where was his
Stan.
last known whereabouts?
Well, if folks knew that, I guess somebody would have turned in the bounty by now.
Fair. I'll
And
definitely.
again, he just goes through your vision. And,
Yeah.
well, I see one of them's wearing a Union jacket. Confederate officer, really emaciated, sickly looking, like he hasn't eaten much. Kind of real cold fella. Just moves unnaturally. Yeah. That sounds a lot like Thomas Poole, or Sir Poole, they call him. He's got a bounty on him, too.
Like more than one, then.
So this dream that we had. I gotta open up the handout if it'll open back up. How many people were in it?
7 in your dreams.
This man.
Also, the poem that you got from Old One Eye says, 7 devils seek its power.
So we got like a gang or something that's going after it.
Well, that might be awfully tricky. Sir Poole is dead. He was convicted and hanged for murder.
I mean,
Whereabouts was he hanged?
Don't rightly know. Remember, it was in the papers not long ago.
so a 7th son of a 7th son, 7 people in our dreams. Do you seek it as well?
He kind of looks quizzical for a moment. Seek what?
Ages.
Now, your dreams didn't have a particular, like the opening of the dream showed like a comet streaking across the skies, and an old Indian shaman looking up at it.
So we don't know what
know
it is. Just
I think I
7
know
people.
what it is. Dang.
Well, whatever it is that you come in search of, I do hope you find it. Some of these fellas that were in your dreams are, as I said, at least one of them's already dead. And they're very, very nasty men.
I mean, death doesn't mean as much anymore as what you think it might. My dear son, Chance, not Chance. Chance, you're not my son. I disown you.
I'm not.
Scab has been dead at least once before.
And the dead are also quite talkative if you know how to persuade them.
Wait, what?
I thought we've been over this.
I've got 4 intelligence, Dad.
You're fine, boy. I really appreciate all the hard work you've been doing here recently.
I love you so much.
I love you too, boy. And your
While you're
Latin
talking.
is improving.
Well, while you're talking, he breaks out this little wooden box. It's got several medicine bottles in it, and he hands you over, each of you, a vial of his world famous black milk. Says it's good for what ails you. If you ever feel like you need a little pick me up or little bit of constitution to your bones, take a sip, down the whole thing, and you'll be feeling right. No time at all. It's patented. My own special blend.
How does my 6th sense pick up on this?
Do you open the bottle? Take a sniff of it?
Oh yeah.
All right. You don't need to roll a thing.
Oh, okay.
Because of your connection with Shub, this is instantly recognizable to you. This is like the distilled essence of Shub. It's her it's some of her ooze.
You've been
It's one of
digging in the
your
mop
people.
bucket. Okay.
I can tell you, you're free to come by and ask me questions whenever you like, but my my sense, my special gift only operates when the right question's asked. I don't know what to tell you unless the question's asked in a particular way. But I will say that there are folks here that will help and hinder you. You should talk to as many folks as you can.
How's the black goat treat you?
He just kind of nods and smiles at you. Make my fortune's offer.
That's fair. That's fair.
Is the law on our side here?
Well, why don't you go visit our sheriff yourself and find out? He kind of points down the street, number 11 on the map.
I mean, in that
Annex
regard, I can come
sheriff.
with you. We're on good terms. I think.
Well, it's been a decade since you've been through here. You were a very young man the last time you were through here.
Well, I put an I think on the end.
Yeah. That'd be Sheriff Henry Plummer. Don't right know how he fits into your dreams, into your... I sense there's a showdown imminent. Very important one. I don't know how he fits into it. Might as well ask him.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
We can also ask about the remains of our hanged criminal while we're at it. And then perhaps ask that person some questions.
Inspect the sheriff's hairline.
Mm-hmm.
It might be almost as thin as mine.
I think it might be thinner.
Well, feel free to come on back and have some coffee and chat to your old friend Carrie whenever you feel like it. I'll be in town for, well, kind of licks his finger, puts it in the air as if he's trying to test the winds. Well, at least until this whole thing plays out.
3 days, right?
Took you most of a day. It's like half a day to get here.
Mm-hmm.
You got the message the other early in that day, so 2 days. Like one full day and then midnight of the next day. If One Eye got things right.
We'll see, Harry Carey.
Okay. Well, if we take our leave, I'll definitely warn everyone else. Feel free to drink that in a time of need, but I gotta tell you, it's sketchy stuff.
Wallop.
Sketchy stuff.
Potent though.
Straight. This is. It's more milk than what you're thinking. This is milk directly from the black goat.
I don't know what that means.
That smells like you after you did the operation a couple nights ago, Dad.
Yeah, it will. Very, very. It's a lot of power packed in there.
I will trust in your
It reminds me of a book I read the
expertise.
other night.
It probably would. Did it have the one with lots of babies in it?
Yeah, but they were babies all strangling each other. It's a weird picture, Dad.
That was the book, yeah. That book would remind you of this. I'm fairly certain we're going to have to kill that man.
Which one? The guy that we just got the milk from, or the guy that we're going to talk to?
Well, the
Yes.
milk, for sure. Absolutely, for sure.
Okay. Fair.
Whatever
we'll
you
kill
say,
that.
Dad.
We'll kill that man when we get there.
Yeah. Let's go talk to the sheriff.
All right. Well, the sheriff's office, courthouse, and the jail make up the small compound at the town's heart. All three buildings are made of brick, the jail being the only building to have barred windows. All three structures look strong and formidable.
Looks the same as I remember it.
A sign beside the door reads Sheriff Henry Plummer, which is not the sheriff that was in town when you were a teen, Chance.
I wonder if they ever finished putting the bars in or if they still got the red paint on the floor.
You go into the main office, and you assume as Sheriff Plummer sits at the desk, feet up on the desk, gun belt hanging in the back of a chair. He's tall, imposing man with slick black hair, thick oiled beard and mustache. He's dressed in a black suit, the sheriff's star, his sole concession to a uniform. All of you notice that the star that he wears right over his heart has a bullet hole through the center of it.
Does it
I would like
match-
Scab to please make me a grit check, DC 10.
Ooh.
Okay. I was not expecting that. Let me find my grit button. No, I guess I
Nail
don't.
it. Okay. Let's see. You failed it by how much?
Just
It's
two.
DC 2.
By 2. You failed it by 2. Okay. You don't know what overcomes you. You really don't, Scab, but you just can't be in this man's presence. And you quickly just step outside. Moment you're over the threshold of the sheriff's office, you feel better. But you're terrified to be in this man's presence.
Oh, sorry, Dad. I can't be here.
Nope, that's quite fine, son. I'll kind of nod to the others, like, talk to this dude, and I'll head out with Scab.
I'm real sorry, Dad. I just I don't know if I did something wrong or not. I don't know.
You didn't. It happens to me. Like, remember that time in the town with the church, and I wasn't able to go into it. Sometimes it
and
just
you're just trying to
happens.
help.
You're just trying to help. It's fine. We'll keep an eye, see if anything's happening while the others talk to the sheriff.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dad. I try not to get scared. I'll try and be big. I'm sorry, Dad.
That's all right. I'll sit down and bust out his trail snacks. Like, you're just hungry. Start cutting off like
maybe.
fingers and giving those to him.
Bag
I'm
of
real
fingers.
sorry, Dad. I'm not gonna let you down. I promise.
I know you
We're gonna get.
Bag of fingers and toes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was just hungry. You're right, Dad. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You're so good to me.
Big smelly hug. We really need to talk to you about bathing more than once or twice a month.
Need a phalanges. Not yourself when you're hungry.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it's stuck in my throat. Dad.
I'll slap him hard on the back. Lodge that shit loose. Oh my gosh. Method act.
No, it was a piece of tongue.
Oh. I don't.
Well, the rest of you
remember
do.
packing
McIntyre and Scab immediately turn around, head out of the office. McIntyre trying to console Scab, who just, even for a dead child, he went very white before having to take a few steps outside of the sheriff's office. Sheriff hasn't even moved yet. Just tips his hat at you all. Anything I can do for you folk? Didn't hear any gunshots, so I'm assuming nothing is terribly important.
Not just yet.
We heard tell that there were men in town with bounties on their heads and dark plans for the days ahead. We were looking for more information on these individuals.
He kind of points over to, there's a stack of wanted posters nailed to a wall. So, you're free to look through. But as far as I know, nobody on those lists are in town right now. You know something I don't?
Now, I feel like it begs the question. There was a mention of sheriff in the dream. And
I'm noticing he's wearing a hat.
And any immediate correlations here?
I mean, in your dream, you didn't get a great look at the sheriff, but I mean, could be. He's, his hair is dark enough, and if you want to ask him anything, go right ahead. I mean, I'm assuming at this point you guys haven't said anything about your dream. You just said that there's some wanted men coming into town.
Yeah. We just heard there's a little trouble brewing, and we like to get
I'm the law here. So if you
money.
know something, please do enlighten me so I can protect the citizenry as they are fit to be protected.
I mean, I'm from around these parts myself.
He takes a good hard stare at you. Says, Well, you haven't made it to any of the posters. It gives you kind of a wry smile.
Not in a bad way. I think.
You prospecting out here earlier? It used to be
A long time ago.
Yeah. There's still some old timers around. They still make enough to keep on at it. Backbreaking work these days. Gold doesn't flow from the mountains like it used to. You got to dig deep, search hard to get enough to make a living now. Good that you got out.
Never quite had the scratch to get it.
So who are these men? And he kind of resigned to have his nap interrupted, rocks forward on his chair, stands up, sticks his hand out to get a chance.
Oh, they're folks from around parts. We kind of got together on a chance and roam around together and mostly do good, I think.
All right.
Looks like you're gonna replace that badge anytime soon.
He kind of chuckles at it. No, it's worn, and people around town like to call me the sheriff who can't die. It's a reminder. He slaps it.
Got shot on you?
He doesn't really answer, just smiles. Now, you said I've got some
sometimes
desperados coming into my town. Who are we talking about?
People affiliated with Mr. Tut and Poole, I believe their names were.
He's about to reach for the wanted signs, and when he says, those kind of folks. And he goes back to his desk and pulls out like a leather tome.
Not your page or not your regular scrubs.
He lays on the desk. He starts thumbing through it. And you notice that pages are all like notes, like it's a notebook. And he's going through. He says, "So a tut and a pool, you say? Any distinguishing characteristics?"
One of them, I believe, rides a buffalo, and the other has a tendency to carry a knife.
Would you know them if you saw a rendering of them?
I believe I would.
Perhaps so.
He turns a page, and then there's a hand drawn of of one of the visions that you've seen. He says, "This one here is Thomas Poole." And you're reading, you're looking over his shoulder. He'll motion Killian over. You notice in handwriting underneath the picture, it says, "Hame again, a bell pull for Mr. Bell Poole."
That would be Mr. Poole, as I understand him.
Yeah. So you definitely recognize the face. He turns to another one, and this is the man with the tentacular kind of beard, and the face like gives you a little jolt when you see it again. It's the face from your dream. There's a note underneath it that says, "The finger thief, very dangerous. Wears the trigger fingers of killed gunslingers to increase his skills." Yep. Came across him before as well.
Do you have any pictures of any of the others? I believe there might be 5 other companions of his.
Yeah, one of those guys, thumbs and fingers, and
this man Poole here is often seen with this man. His name's John Joel Glanton. He shows Glanton. There's a picture of him as well, kind of hand drawn. They call him the Scalp Hunter.
Oh, that sounds like a thing.
Yep, he's wearing like a Mexican serape around him.
You scab.
He's got a sombrero on, and the picture depicts blood kind of coming down around it. You guys saw this in your image as well. Well, now, yeah, he's a character that This book is special. See, I've hunted down unusual criminals since 7 days a night. I'm sure you're all aware that our earth is quite changed, quite different than how it was before. And I take my calling, he taps his badge. I take my calling very seriously, and I collect scraps of information like this where and when I can. Now, these folk are, well, they've been killed once already. Let's just put it that way. And they're still up and moving. They got to be put down in special ways.
I have
Now,
ways
these
of
two,
doing that.
Mr. Poole and Mr. Glanton, I've got some good evidence as to how to put them down for good. And he kind of looks uneasy when he points a finger at Glanton. Well, Glanton here has been known as the Scalp Hunter, and I've got it on authority of a certain mystic that's been doing some divinations into the bloody path that he's cut through these areas, is that the Scalp Hunter can be put down permanently if a freshly applied scalp is fitted over his head. It will put an end to him. Now, where you're going to get a victim to pull that fresh scalp off of, well, that's a crime in and of itself.
And
Well,
the
if you run
other,
into a few of these people at the same time, some might get one sourced from another unsavory fellow.
Mr. Poole here was hung once. Hang him again. That'll put an end to him.
He's got 2 necks.
Now, the rest of the characters, I can't help you. They don't ring any bells with me, nor are they in my book here. Not folks I've come across, but you'll find that several folks in this town are more than they seem. Could be helpful to you, could not be. But why are these folks coming into my town? You seem to know more about that than you're letting on. Why is Mr. Mr. Poole going to be visiting us here?
We have our
Actually, don't know
own
why,
sort
be
of
honest.
mystic sources, and they keyed us in on they might be interested in the area, something to do with the ley lines. We're not sure.
For the unknown reasons, they're coming here. We're coming here too.
Mystics are usually only good enough to point you in that direction rather than tell you anything.
Well, I'm sure if you all have been touched by the 7 days and night, as I have myself, that you've already felt that this town is different. It's powder keg waiting for a spark to set it off. Maybe these characters are coming here to light that fuse. You're going to find that the residents of this town, those that set up shingles, they're important. To the scheme of things, if you believe in fate, if you believe in the warp and weft, that your fates have been predetermined, woven into time, as it were, well, several of the folks here hold those threads. Might be best for you to talk to all that you can. I can answer some questions, but I got to know, and got to be put to the question. I don't know what more I can tell you. These 2 folks, run across them. I got solid evidence on how to put those 2 down. The rest, I don't rightly know. I will say here, this hanging, this second hanging that you'll need to perform, just not any old noose. You're going to have to find special noose, one that's been blessed by our Creator, or the other.
All right.
Okay, magic noose. All right.
Magic noose.
well, I
Or we
suppose
could find one of those.
we'll get to
Let's-
working on that magic noose and tracking down some ne'er-do-wells who have a nice scalp that we could possibly use.
So while this is going on the outside, McIntyre and Scab, you calm down a bit, but nothing could force you back into that office. I mean, you're terrified. You don't rightly know why. It's just something very basic and very instinctual that just you can't be in that person's presence.
It's weird, Dad. It's like I can't remember the last time I needed to make water, but I feel like I need to now.
I mean, if you need to try, boy, head around back to the building.
Okay. I'm sorry. It just it feels funny.
That's fine.
We pee right on that sheriff's building.
You're a
Chance will
growing
be proud.
boy going through changes, I think.
Scab going through puberty would be the worst.
Undead
Oh my
puberty,
God.
yeah.
Undead puberty would be the
Puberty.
worst.
Okay. Well, you were on the corner there, so you'll notice this little block on the map has 11A, B, and C, right? So let's say you go around to the side there. 11B is the courthouse. It's all boarded up. The doors have been just large boards have been tacked up around it, so you can't go inside. The windows have all been shuttered. There's a sign that just reads, "Inquire with the sheriff." Doesn't look like anyone's used the courthouse in a while.
Martial law.
I mean, and this time, that's all the law.
The sheriff's badge says, "I am the law."
It says Carl Urban right underneath that.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to share that when I come back. Nothing shook out, Dad, but I feel I'm better. I'm better. I don't know why I can't go in there, but whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let you down no more from here on out. I promise.
Listen, if you get that bad feeling again, just go with it. You are the son of a powerful sorcerer. You're going to have all sorts of weird things going on with your body.
Okay.
Anyway, that's quite interesting that they've locked up and boarded up all of the courthouse.
There's nothing more confusing than an undead kid going through puberty.
That's very true. That's very true.
Tell me about the tentacles, Dad.
They're going to grow in strange places that they've never grown before.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay. So if are you guys done with the sheriff? You want to ask him anything else?
I
you
would
can
ask-
look behind him to see the building that immediately, like the back door of the sheriff's office has got like a window cut in it. So you can see the building behind, which is the jail.
And we're in building 9, is that correct? Or outside
11.
building 11?
So 11A, B, and C is like basically the security complex, sheriff's office, the courthouse, and the jail.
Okay. Cool.
I'll set down a $5 bill and I'll say, "This is not a bribe, sir. This is just a request. Could you please remove your hat for a moment?"
Actually, can't change to the map.
Yeah, I mean, he takes his hat off. It says, "Yeah, I'm mighty proud of it myself." Completely misunderstanding what you're saying. He brushes it off. He wipes out the inside for any sweat, hands it over to you. We had a very fancy haberdashers come through here not too many years ago. Had this one specially made. First time I've had a bespoke hat made. It's pretty nice. He's got a thinning hairline, but his scalp's intact. It looks fine.
That was all I wanted to know. I'll take a good look at it and I'll twirl it around in my fingers, pretend, "Oh, yes, very fine hat," and I'll hand it back.
I think it's made out of beaver felt.
Ooh.
Nice. I prefer koala.
Maybe for that one guy, we just need to get a pair of. It sounds like everyone's curse is related to what they're good at. So maybe for that one guy, we just need a cursed pair of trigger fingers. And I'll look at Chance.
We already got that.
Let him be Chance's trigger finger. He'll choke on it and die.
Oh my gosh.
He rolls 4
So anyway,
ones
he
in a
tried
row.
to start blasting.
He ate those fingers and they killed him to death.
Yeah, so is there anything else you want to do with the sheriff? He's pretty amiable, but he's only got solid information on 2 of the folks that might be coming through.
Where
Oh, and
might
he's
people-
definitely on the in of all the horrifying realities that are out there.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know of any place where gamblers meet regularly?
No, certainly.
I mean, I could tell you that.
Well,
Actually, give me just a second here.
Were there any other like particularly interesting persons that jumped out to us in our dream? Seems like it was only those 3 that we saw.
You just
right?
kept getting flashes. I mean, there were 7 figures. You didn't get great looks at all of them. Just kind of a feeling of some.
Met
I mean, you
2.
guys are free to reference the the dream sheet if there's anything particular you want to say off of it. This adventure, by the way, is you cannot do any poking about and you will miss half the adventure. If you want to dive right into the showdown, you can. You will probably die horribly. But it's just kind of how it's set up, where this is a digging through and finding stuff out sort of thing. As far as gambling, yes. Give me a second here. Yeah, Skinner Saloon. It's the one and only saloon in Bannock. It's number 10. It's across the street from the sheriff's office.
Convenient for the sheriff. I'll tip my non-existent hat and say thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gamblers.
I want to ask him what his opinion of that cart guy that gave us the milk was.
Oh, Mr. Carey, is it? He just rode into town this afternoon. Not a resident. He's got the proper permits filed by county government. I mean, he's perfectly allowed to sell on my streets. I can't say he's got much of a crowd to sell to. Mostly he's just been squatting out there, trying to peddle those wares to comers and goers. But as you can see, our streets are mostly quiet. I imagine he's going to push on come morning.
Is there anyone else that showed up, like, very recently?
Other than Mr. Carey, no. It's been, you'll find that population just doesn't change much around here. Few prospectors have been here a long time. They get just enough gold to go and have a drink, roof over their head, and some meals now and then.
I remember that life. Make some money, get some beer, wake up, make some money, get some beer, wake up.
I feel like that's a sewed song. Do you got to put on a little makeup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Can't go to
good
the
question, though,
mines
Joe.
not looking your best.
But other than Mr. Carey, no one new has been in quite a while.
Okay.
I mean, train stops here, but that's only because this is a water and coal stop.
Mm.
There's not even a hotel that's outside of the train depot.
You get your water from your beer.
That's how the rest of
Oh,
us
we got some natural springs around here. It's good water.
Good water, good beer.
100%.
Yeah.
And not as good as that water I hear from Sweet Springs. I hear that stuff will make you 10 years younger.
A lie.
He's like, it's a dirty lie. It's a damn lie.
Yeah, I guess looking for some place that people would be gambling, drinking.
Yeah, well, there's only the one saloon in town. It's a pretty piss poor saloon at that. Single floor. They don't have any places to stay. If you guys are going to stay the night, there's a few places that I could maybe recommend out in the outskirts. So he kind of motions up to where number 6 on the map is. Any of them farmhouses there, they usually got rooms to let. You can talk to the owners individually if you'd like a nice place to stay. Other than that, I mean, there is the church. They are always taking in folks that a little down on the luck, mostly prospectors, of course. If you just need a roof over your head, they'll let you stay in there. But we don't have, the Hotel Mead is here, of course. I wouldn't recommend it.
What number is the church? Is that 15?
15 is the church. Hotel Mead is 7.
Okay.
It's like right next to the saloon, of course.
I want to, because in the vision, we saw like the table that the gamblers were at, and they kicked a chair out. I want to walk into the saloon and see like
You want to go to the
if any
saloon?
of
All right.
that like lines up with our vision.
So is the group going as one? Are you guys splitting up at this point? What are you?
Tagging
How are you doing
along
this?
with him.
This is getting late into the evening, by the way. So like your train arrived here like right as sun's going down. It took a good while to get here. It's late in the evening. So
Yeah, I don't expect to stay in the saloon for too long. Probably just I want to look around, see if it jumps out to me.
Sure.
And then
one-story building,
that's all.
simply constructed, just a long rectangle. It's built pretty solid though, good wood. It's got a squared off. It looks like it was constructed well, but plainly. You walk through the doors. It's held open. Actually, the door's held open with a large rock. It's just kind of put there as a doorstop. The decor inside is very simple: 8 round tables, a long bar, a small stage with a piano, and a shabby red curtain backdrop. There's a large wagon-wheeled candelabra hangs over the center of the bar, providing light in the evening, which it has got on now. It's anchored by a rope tied to the corner near the steps of the stage. You do recognize this bar from your vision.
Is there a barkeep?
There is somebody cleaning up behind the bar.
I want to look for like which table it was in the vision, and then
Trying to place it. Okay, so you kind of orient yourself by walking to the bar first. And you can't help but notice that while it's been disguised here and there, you can tell that the bar is made up with heavily lacquered produce boxes, where some of the produce stamps are still visible beneath the sheen of the heavy lacquer. And the man who's bent down as you come in turns around, gives you a big smile. It says, "Hey, well, you're a new face. I'm Jed O'Grady. Pleased to meet you. What's your poison?" Sticks his hand out.
he's like, "Oh, nothing for right now. Might be out. Probably spend more time in here tomorrow. Just getting a look around." And then I'm gonna kind of try and place like which table it was in the vision.
Yeah, you're doing that. Go ahead.
And then I want, like, as soon as I know which table it is, I want to point it and say, like, "Did you know whoever was sitting at that earlier?"
Well, as you come in, you spot the table almost right away. So now that you're at the bar and you kind of get the angles right, there's a table that's kind of set away from the other round tables. There are currently a trio of relatively well-dressed men sitting at the table, just kind of throwing cards around. They look like they're playing like just a simple game. One of them's got a big cigar in his mouth, smoking away. They seem to be, there's like one elderly man, one man around, past his prime, but still young enough, and one young man at the table. I assume the rest of you followed him in?
I did, yeah. I'd have Scab come along as well.
Just like I remember it. Hopefully,
I guess if there are people at that table already while I'm talking to the barkeep, I'll be asking, like, "Are these 3 new around here, or they've been here a while?"
They've been here as long as this bar has existed.
Lies.
This bar wasn't here when you were here through last time, Chance. This is a new bar.
Oh.
You burned down the last bar that was here. It's one of the reasons you had to leave town.
That's why I said lies. I burned this bar down. They haven't been here the whole time.
In this kind of seeing those 3, does my 6th sense pick up anything?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Those 3 are disturbingly powerful. Like you just kind of open yourself to like this. The whole town has just got you, like I said, it feels like this almost the storm ready to break. But these 3 people shine past that. They just, it's like a light that you can't quite even look at without just your senses being overwhelmed by them. But to you, Jebediah, the bartender says, "Oh yeah. So if you got some cash on you, Pa, Boy, and Pappy, That's what they like to be called. They'll take your money from you.
Do they look
But I
related?
tell you, they're
Young.
good. They're real good.
Yeah.
The young, the middle, and the old.
Do they look related?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Did we get a good look in our vision at what the people looked like? Do they?
You didn't.
Right.
You saw. I mean, again, you can look on the sheet there for the just really brief description that you got of the poker
Right.
table.
I mean, with my sixth sensibility, like if you're showing any doubt there to Jebediah, I could like those three are just absolutely vibrating with magical energies and power.
I got an idea, Dad.
What do you got?
Because I spent a lot of time as a busboy. Barkeep, what have those folks been drinking? Let me get a round of it before my dad goes to talk to them.
Just since I feel like a bear is mentioning a trio of gamblers play poker, one of them slowly looks up
Right.
and gently kicks at a chair.
I say we send to Jebediah.
Yeah. Might be a good idea.
We can
Or a bad
Scab, we
idea.
can send you back and forth to serve them and whatnot to keep an ear on things.
Mm-hmm.
You go on up, Jebediah.
Sure, I'll see if they could use another player.
All right, so you are frozen momentarily as one of the guys kick out a stool, just like in your dream, as it slides across to you. And the older man says, "It's a dime, Annie. If you want to join, come on in. We'll take your money."
We'll see about that. And I'll sit down. All right, what's our game?
It is 5-card stud poker.
All right.
Just as a question, are there any spirits lingering in the near in this bar by any chance?
Okay, so yeah, that is that is a question. You want to pop over into the near or just kind of take a look at what's around?
Yeah, I would like to take a look around and see if there are any worth looking at.
Okay. You have never seen a place from the other side that has been exactly the same. There's always impressions. There's always, something that tells you that you're looking at it from the other side of the veil. You do this, and at first, you're not even sure your power is working because nothing changes. Nothing.
That's bizarre. But has the population increased in doing that?
So you're still in the bar and looking around. It's the same people are here, exactly the same.
Yeah. All right then. That's wild. In that case, yeah, I'll just I'll resume my living in the meat world.
Okay. Jebediah, stool's kicked out to you. You freeze for just a moment because the whole act is just playing out like in your dream.
I'll grab the stool and pull myself up and ante in.
Okay. All right, you ante in. Make me a stamina check, please.
Stamina. Okay.
Or I guess it's a fortitude check in this. Sorry. Do a fortitude check.
Okay.
Sorry. That's good. You throw a dime on the table, and there's this odd sensation that goes along with it, as if a piece of yourself is just flung on the table with that dime.
Probably shouldn't go all in this game.
All in.
Yeah.
Do
All right.
it.
So we're supposed to play out a hand of poker for this, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to use your gambling. Okay. So you go ahead and roll, and I'll make a roll for the table. All right. Depending on how you do versus that, we'll see how the hand goes. Okay.
I'm going to play it straight the first time.
You're going to play it straight. All right.
Yep. What would this be?
It's just a skill roll D20.
Okay.
So a game of poker. I mean, it is a game of skill. You can use intelligence if you've got a bonus in intelligence. Other than that, I'm going to give you a choice. If you want to use personality instead to chat up the table and try and learn their tells, you could use that instead.
Oh, absolutely.
I am playing with drink
that's more
if it
the angle it'd
helps.
Oh, you're going to play the piano.
Yeah.
All right.
I got bus boy.
I want
pianist.
I want you to go ahead and make me a roll. I'm playing the piano.
Is that more of a agility thing?
If you have learned some sheet music, you can use intelligence, but agility is fine if you just want to make a nice, pleasant tune come out of it and not necessarily like something popular from the time.
Do we still have our...
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
God.
Oh, no. Do we still have our bonus luck?
If you haven't used it, you know what? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If you guys still have it on your sheets, you still have it. I'll be nice.
Okay.
God bless it.
I'm gonna
you get a lot from yours.
3 luck on that.
Yeah, so you just pull out ahead. Okay. So you
21.
play and you talk. So something fascinating to find out is that they have no tails. Like you can, like, you're sure they're bluffing one moment and then they play it straight and it's a great hand. The next moment you think that they're worried and they have no particular tells. They're good players. Even with the 21, you do make out. You make a few bucks, you win a few hands, you lose a few hands. All in all, you're a little ahead right now. You're doing good. What conversation are you making at the table? Anything in particular?
I'm just gonna be the main thing I'm gonna be asking them is like, oh, you guys have been here a while. Like, any particular weird characters, especially any like recently, trying to just get them to gossip about the town and current events.
Well, Pappy seems to be the only one that really talks at the table. The rest of them just kind of nod along and yep, no sir, that sort of thing. Pappy's the one who's doing most of the talking. He's the one with the big cigar in his mouth. He says, well, that huckster outside, he might get what he's asking for, but I ain't sure it'll be what he really wants. It's very cryptic. Feel free to ask some other things if you want, Jeff, or not Jeff, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you're fine.
But he has very cryptic answers to everything you throw out there. Go ahead, ask away at anything you want to throw out. I'm going to say with that roll you make for this particular hand, we'll say you can ask him about 4 things during this time. Then we'll move on to someone else.
Okay.
So 3 more
current
things
events gossip. I'll ask them. They're like why they're so good at playing pool is kind of, or at poker. I mean, it's kind of what I'm going to be alluding to. Like, if you're in one place, it's kind of odd that you guys have such a refined skill of this. So, like,
well, the games may change, but the balance of fate's always been there. There's them that are lucky, and there's them that are unlucky.
All right. Then I'll ask if they're expecting any people to show up soon within the next few days. Any friends or something?
Pappy just almost like he mishears you. He says, oh yeah, there's a storm a-coming, and then levee will break soon. Who's gonna drown and who's not? Well, I expect you got more to play in that than you think. And the 2 next to him are like, yeah,
And then I'm going to ask if he feels like he's on the right side of fate.
I'm always on my own side.
All right.
So you play a hand. Did you want to keep playing, or do you want to end it there? Like, you're ahead now. And every time you ante up, again, it feels really strange. Like you're throwing a little bit of your own self out each time you ante up a hand. You feel good every time you win. You pull some of it back.
I think the physical feeling of that compared, like on top of them being really good, is going to be like a drug to him. He's just gonna he's gonna go in and ask for like a bigger hand this time around too. And instead of like a dime, he's gonna put in like a $10 pot to start.
Oh my god! Okay, ooh. Make me a fortitude check. How old is your character? Whereabouts?
Oh no. He is I pictured him like getting pretty close to hitting his 60s.
He flatly refuses to play with those stakes. He says, "No, your string ain't ready to be cut yet. You got things to do." And he gives you back your $10.
Okay.
Ouch.
I'll just do a normal game then.
Okay, you keep playing then. All right, the rest of you guys.
That's like an "oh bless your heart," and then
that's spooky.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just met the three fates.
So while the playing is going on, so the hotel, or excuse me, the bar here is right next to the hotel. The stage is a simple wooden platform, as I was describing. Scab was belting out a tune on the piano. Scab, it's you start playing, it sounds horrible, and then all of you are pleasantly surprised. You turn around, and Scab is playing like like a classical concerto piece. I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah, you don't know what's going on, Scab. It's your hands. You're going over the keys. Everything feels just right. Like you even try to hit a wrong note, and you can't do it.
Dad, Dad, do you see this?
I do. You.
I did it. I thought I just.
Now, you can stop. Like you're not being forced to play. Like when you stop, it stops. But when you put your hands back down, it's just like you're being guided into this perfect melody.
I wish I could cry because this feels really good.
It sounds amazing.
My eyes just kind of crack a little bit.
So McIntyre, you're standing next to him. You're next to the stage, and there's that curtain that's drawn. Like you imagine that performers would set up and get themselves ready back there. So the lights are off currently. You don't really, you don't see any motion or hear anything back there, but you figure there is a room back there.
Okay. Well, I mean, if there's a room back there, can I go take a peek?
Okay. You kind of look around and you stick your head behind the curtain. There's a small 10 by 10 area behind the curtain. It used to be a storeroom. Like you can still see some crates on the floor here and there.
Yeah.
But it's been converted into just a ready room. Like there's a table. You see like very rich red, what are they called? Boas and like dancing girl costumes and a few other things back there. There's a small dressing table, a few chairs. But as you enter in the back room, there are a couple of dancers here that were just kind of getting testing on uniforms, or not uniforms, but they're dressed for the night with just the very low lantern light, just kind of trying things on. And as you come in, they cover themselves up very quickly and they start screaming.
Oh my gosh. My apologies, lady. I'm leaving now. I was told that goodbye.
Okay. The screamings do not stop. Let's see here. Okay. Roll me. Well, here I got to see if it actually goes off first. Give me just a second. +3. What is your armor class?
Let me double check. I don't. It should be right now 19. Yeah, it's 19.
Okay, you actually step out very quickly after you see it's some women getting dressed, and the shrieks are their ears shatteringly loud. But you step out very quickly. And barkeep comes over and he's got a big wooden club in his hand. And he says, hey, what's this now? What are you doing to my girls?
Nothing. My deepest apologies, my kind sir. My son was there playing the piano. I saw it. My curiosity. I did not realize that this was the dressing room. My deepest apologies. I would be willing to put money on the table as the form of my apology.
Make me a personality check.
All right. Oh, God, my personality's terrible. 19, though. Okay.
Oh, that's a great check. He's like, no need for that. It's forgiven. They're good girls. They ain't no soiled doves. We don't do that around here. They're good girls. You don't be messing with them now.
No, absolutely not. Luckily,
Right.
I saw
Now, I'm not
what it was.
I'm not going to take your coin as long as you apologize to them when they come out.
I will entirely and totally. They will have my deepest apologies.
He points up to a sign. He says, well, all right, since we got that straightened out, I'll give you a shot in the house. You pick one. And so he's got a couple of different whiskeys listed on his sign. One of them's called Chain Lightning. One of them's Coffin Varnish, Red Dynamite, Taos Lightning, and Tarantula Juice.
I'm going to go with
Lord.
Chain Lightning.
Okay, he goes behind the bar, pulls all kinds of bottles off the wall. None of them have labels on it. Pours it out into a shot glass, slides it down to the bar. It creeps across and stops almost dead in front of you. The guy's very practiced at doing this.
Impressive.
No hard feelings.
Thank you, sir. Then I whap, down it goes.
Maybe a fortitude check.
And you explode into
DC
flames.
10.
Chain lightning
13.
explodes from your
I pull it.
fingertips.
Into lightning.
You
more
get the
specific.
notes of burnt sugar and prune juice. It goes down hard. Tastes all right, though. You make the
Okay.
fortitude save, so you're not going to be spending the next D6 times 10 minutes crapping your pants out.
Oh,
Just me
prune
every other
juice,
day.
a warrior's drink.
Yes. So yeah, guys, we're over time, so we'll go ahead and end it there for the night with Jebediah unknowingly bidding his life away.
okay.
Scabs playing the most beautiful music that's ever come out of his fingers. McIntyre sampling some of the wares. Pretty good. You made the save, so that's
Yeah.
a tasty beverage. It's got some kick to it. And just so that I get the setup, I know Killian was trying to take a look into the near from here. And again, you've never seen something so itself.
Yeah.
Right. So in the near, usually it's got a cast of some of the personality of the place that's maybe not seen, and as well as any lingering spirits. This place is itself. It's the purest form of a building's inhabitants and the building itself you've ever seen. So you were doing that. What was Chance doing in the bar? It's a bar, Chance. Did you want to order one of those shots?
I mean, like drinking.
One of them?
All of them.
One of
I think
them.
we got time for this. What do you want?
Why-
You want
why limit
chain lightning?
Just one.
Well, we'll start with the one. So chain lightning, coffin varnish, red dynamite, Taos lightning, and tarantula juice.
Chain Lightning was good.
The most expensive one
Got a
is the
chance of
Taos
showers,
lightning.
though, so
It's
be
50
careful.
cents
Oh, well,
a shot.
got to start at the top because we're kind of flush with cash now. We're kind
And
of
high society, you have to do the most expensive one.
That's right.
All right. Well, you come up to the bar, Chance, and he tells you, he says, look, now we only sell this on a dare. You know, we got to warn you ahead of time that you're taking this at your own risk. You sure you want this? The bottle is it's beautiful. It's this frosted glass. It's got this, picture of an iceberg on the front, and just, it looks very Art Deco. It's like,
There's no way that this can go wrong.
that's 50 cents a shot, half a buck. You sure? Now he kind of calls out to the bar. I warned him. Everyone be my witness.
Witness.
He pours this clear fluid out into a shot glass. He takes a step back and puts it in front of you.
Boy. I mean, bottoms up.
Okay. Fort save, please. DC 14.
Ooh.
I'll spend a luck on it to get there.
You want to spend your luck on it? Go right ahead.
Yep.
All right.
Can Ivan sneak his revolver away from him before he takes the shot?
You may not. Even if you do, I can magic it back to me.
Okay.
That's right. It's actually it's nice. I mean, you've been drinking the highfalutin stuff here lately. It's got it's got a little hint of cinnamon and some spices. It's very spicy going down. You're pretty sure that it's got a little bit of strychnine and prussic acid in it as well, just to get the heart moving. You're fine though. It's tasty, very strong. Get your heart pumping.
Woo!
All right, so we'll end it there with probably Chance taking the first shot of many while things go on in the background. So, this one's a slower burn, guys. Again, if you want, and I'm just telling it to you because we're gonna abbreviate things, and we're doing this for as a live stream sort of thing. You can just push on through to midnight if you want. Or you can dig into the mystery. I'm going to leave it to you how you're going to go about it. But we'll end there for the night. Chuck, anything you want to announce? Anything going on for the Defenders?
Sure. So you can usually find the majority of us over on twitch.tv/Defenders of Kobold. Every Wednesday night we have an alien game. It's our All Fear the Ishtar campaign. Bert and Dan and Jeremy are in that playing Space Pirates. Every Friday night at 10 p.m. Central over in Defenders of Kobold, we have our America, DCC, and the American Apocalypse. Joe and Dan are players in that, playing our mutated teenage monstrosities. So if you like Ninja Turtles, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Toxic Avenger, or Crusaders.
People making mistakes.
And Jake's in that. Did I say Jake? Joe, Dan, Jake. Those three.
Well, you said it now.
I said it now.
All right. Sounds good. Jeremy, tell us about that Patreon you got.
Yeah, man. Aaron Reese on Patreon. We got comics, maps, tokens, other assets. Why not? Check it out. It's fun.
Good stuff. And catch more of my stuff over at twitch.tv/Steam Steal or Murder, or better yet, go to BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. All of our podcasts are there, all of our social links, all the good stuff and where to find it. This week, tomorrow, it looks like we do have a game of Dicey Tales. We're going through another playtest adventure with some of the folks that are here, some are not. But it will be happening around our normal game time. So that's like what is that? What's 10 o'clock Eastern for me? No idea what it is for you guys. Central. Yeah, good stuff. So that'll be on my own channel at twitch.tv/Steam Steal Murder. And Tuesdays, we have second edition Dungeons and Dragons. Fridays is BX. So you like to play a lot of the classic D&D games. This next Saturday coming up is Cyberpunk Red. We're kind of mishmashing Cyberpunk with a sitcom, a dark sitcom, but it's a sitcom. It's been a lot of fun. So check us out there. Any last words, Jake? You got anything?
Nope. Check everybody out. We got stuff going on.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching tonight. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.